Part 2 of this video series on the Langeni Pass features the eastern descent. If you intend driving this pass, it's important to watch Part 1 first, which contains the Google Earth orientation clips as well as other important tourism, safety and other information. After the summit viewpoint, the road heads directly into the east as the first cuttings appear directly ahead at the 8.5 kilometer mark. The gradient gets steeper as the road sweeps through a big right-hand bend to start with the chicane section consisting of two U-shaped bends. There are some impressive cuttings, and along this section the excellent engineering work is evident on both sides of the road. This first U-bend is a left-hander at the 9.2 kilometer mark and curves through 160 degrees, changing the heading into the northeast. As this bend straightens out, a red and white checkered lane opens up on the left. This is the emergency lane for runaway trucks, which leads to an arrestor bed just before the next bend. The next corner is a right-hander which curves through 170 degrees, changing the heading into the southwest. The views to the left are spectacular, and the steep cuttings and vertical rock faces are most impressive. All along the pass there's evidence of vehicles having been in serious trouble, with bashed barriers and other accident debris and skid marks aplenty, bringing the dangers of this pass into sharp focus. The next 1.8 kilometers involves a gentle S-curve as the gradient reaches its maximum of 1 in 9. At the 10.6 kilometer mark, the road enters a wide right-hand bend as it follows a spur of the mountainside, taking the heading into the northwest. As this wide bend is completed, the heading changes once again into the west, and a sharp straight descent follows, which leads to the start of the elevated viaduct. If you look carefully, there are one or two small places where a single vehicle can stop to enjoy the views, but there are no signs advising of their arrival, so most people only see them when it's already too late. It's a good idea to mark the start of the viaduct on your GPS so that you can be aware of this point when you reach it. The only visual sign that you are on the viaduct are the metal expansion joints across the road. It's a great pity that no stopping is permitted on the bridge, as it would be wonderful to enjoy the engineering work from the top of the bridge. Once over the bridge, the road goes into the third U-shaped bend, and this one has the tightest radius of the three and is also the most dangerous. The engineers have split the road into two levels on this corner, with a big concrete wall ensuring that no head-on collisions can occur. Note the many scrape marks on this wall, and it's comforting to know that the wall has already clearly saved many lives. At the 11.8 kilometer mark, the penultimate sharp bend appears, which is an 80-degree right-hand bend. The gradient remains steep at 1 in 10 as the road drops through a set of double S-bends. At the 13 kilometer mark, the final sharp bend appears, which is an 80-degree left-hander. From this point, the road curves through two gentle right-hand bends, gradually veering into the southwest as the road can be seen disappearing far ahead into the forest greenery. Don't be fooled into thinking that the pass is now over. Remain alert with the knowledge that there's still another 3.5 kilometers of descending to complete before you reach the foot of the pass. Despite the obvious excellent engineering work that's gone into this pass, it is still a dangerous pass and subject to frequent mountain mists, heavy rain and occasional snow. Perhaps the biggest dangers are from other motorists who either drive too fast or are using unroadworthy vehicles. Despite the commercial value of the pass, it's also opened up the area for tourism and is considered the new major tourist route to Mthatha and the Wild Coast. The engineering company HHO Africa, responsible for the construction of the pass, had to deal with a very complex situation during the construction period. The terrain is unstable and the geology is complex in this rugged and mountainous region. The road is primarily a timber haul road for heavy-duty vehicles, requiring continuously reinforced concrete over the steep 7-kilometer section, which has 11.5% gradients. 8 reinforced earth retaining walls of 20,000 square meters minimize the footprint and impact on the forests. In addition, 22 kilometers of soil terra-nailing stabilizing talus cuttings were built. More than 45,000 cubic meters of concrete were used, and severe environmental constraints were put in place with respect to the indigenous forests and wetlands, necessitating a full-time environmental control officer.